Chris Monchak, Renee Laframboise. One of these two ladies will become our second semi-finalist. Women's 5-pin play at the Canadian Bowling Championships here on TSN. And Chris Monchak will throw first by virtue of her 264, her win over Tracy Yanceth. Laframboise winner, 233-198 over Tammy Herman.
And pretty solid first game for Chris. 8 for 11, 4 strikes. She was 2 for 2 on corner pins.
Oh goodness. That 3 just skated by.
Talked it into that one. She knew it was going to be thick. Again, a little bit of rotation on the bowling ball breaks up that possible split. Right corner.
Hold on, it did.
Well, again, she moves over a little bit to the left-hand side of the lane and goes pretty much straight up at that, and she's waiting for the ball to break, and her curve, it would have taken the ball away from that corner pin. Another great shot from this young lady. She just doesn't seem to be bothered by the lights or the pressure or anything. And she's breaking up a lot of splits.
Yeah. Interesting, in that opening in her game against Tammy Herman, she was always around the head pin, yet never just punched the head pin.
No, she broke up a lot of stuff. She was 8 for 10 in the first game. She got 6 strikes and 2 corner pins. So she never left anything that was virtually unsparable. Chris again, and all the bowlers making sure that they get the oil off the bowling ball so it doesn't affect their grip and how they release it. Knew it was there from the moment it crossed the arrows.
Age and experience, youth and vitality. That's the matchup here. You've got Chris Monchak from Winnipeg against Renee Laframboise from Zilda, Ontario. Monchak, the winner over Tracy Yanceth from Cut Knife, Saskatchewan. 2 very, very good bowlers.
Again, crosses the arrows. She knows she's missed it. Chris got a little different. She doesn't really bring the ball up in her approach. She holds it down low, almost forces her backswing to stay low, and then comes through with it. Low, not much backswing. Very smooth, nice and solid at the foul line, and she gets great extension. We'll see Renee, quite a difference in their arm swing and the height of their backswing. Renee throws the ball quite a bit harder. Sets it up chest height, pushes it up and away, and then big backswing.
Wow.
Lots of speed, lots of power. Nice and low at the foul line, and just a great release.
Overpowering it now.
Great double. Elaine's mom, Renee, looking on. She's president of the Bowling Proprietors Association of Northern Ontario. Obviously, Renee has spent a lot of time in the center over the years.
Whitewater Lanes in Azilda.
Chris needs a strike here in the fourth. Keep pace.
The spare is still there. At least keeps her marks up.
Well, that was left of the head pin all the way, and Chris with the curve, the ball breaks from right to left. Once you miss it left, it's not going to come back.
That hurts.
Looked like she had that in the right location on the lane. That time the ball broke harder into the head pin and she punched it straight back.
Manages to score the 15, but it's an untimely open for Chris Monchak, who now sits with 95. By comparison, look at Renee Laframboise with 2 strikes up in 3 and 4 and building count.
Renee with the lead in the match through these first 4 frames. Still time left, and one thing about Chris, she can throw a lot of strikes. There's the first one, got a bit of a break on it.
Sure was very fat, huh?
A little bit thick, but again, good release and follow through at the foul line. Ball's going to turn over just a little bit.
Working on 2. Got 3? Yes, she does.
Boy, just fire them. Great rotation on the ball, and that speed is breaking stuff up. One more time, 4 in a row for Renee Laframboise.
Her league average 230. Her high game a 375.
She's looking at a possible 420 if she could go all the way out, which would be the high game in TSN history. Little force maybe. Chris trying to get back to the pocket.
Always nice to be back with the Bowling Proprietors of Canada. That's Arnie Rollins, who is the president, and we want to say thank you to all of them, Bob Randall, Mariana McConey, Kyle Hale, and Ryan Sargent, for their continuing support of the game in our country. Trying to force it a little bit, Chris Monchak?
Could be. That's 2 opens in a row on that lane 34 in the 4th frame. She missed the head pin twice. This time maybe trying to force it a little bit. Punches it straight back.
You know, it's not unlike some team games when you think about it. Certainly the pressure is there from your opponent, and she sees it from Renee with 4 strikes up. You try sometimes to get it all back at once when you should maybe, and it's too easy, and you know as a coach, 1 ball, 1 frame at a time.
That's right. And especially, you know, we're only into the 5th frame. There's really lots of time left in this match. Anything can happen. 3rd strike of the match for Chris Monchak. Great reaction. Right hand pocket that time, and with the curve, the ball's breaking into the pocket.
Now Renee here has a great pin count going. If you're Chris Monchak, you need her to miss, and she just won't right now.
The way she's throwing the ball, she's just not making any mistakes. And if she's making a little mistake, we don't really see it. She's got such good rotation on the ball and speed.
Look at the strikes up. I mean, marks and everything, then 6 of 7 are strikes.
Little bit quick that time. The ball just skidded on her. Never made a move back to the pocket. It was left all the way. Small opening here.
Wow. Very small, but it's an opening. And it's the first time we've seen Renee struggle at all, if you can consider one frame a struggle. But he just saws off. She managed the 15, but that just saws off the pin count.
Well, now it's up to Chris. She's got a strike up in 7. She's going to bowl here in 8 and 9. She has to have a double. She's still got a possible 3-12. She gets the double. What kind of effect that'll have on Renee and how she throws the ball? Well, forced it again on that right-hand lane here at Silver Dollar. Second head pin in a row.
Yeah, she looks at the scoreboard and knows she's in trouble. Oh, yes. Well, I'll tell you what, you got to hand it to Renee Laframboise. There's that old saying about youth not knowing. No. Yes.
Yes, Chris, unfortunately only 5. And you're right about youth not knowing, but...
You know, another time out here, she might be just shaking in her boots. But right now, she's just fearless.
Well, and she got off to such a great start. That helps, you know, and she had 6 strikes in the first match. She knows she's got the ability. The pinfall here has been good. She's carrying everything that gets close to the pocket. That builds confidence. I mean, your opponent struggles a little bit. There's no pressure coming back on you from that outside.
Good cover by Chris Monchak. But Renee Laframboise has just looked so good. And she will become our second semifinalist. That was a bad break. I thought that might even come off the wall.
And that's what we've seen. It's been typical, the speed and the rotation she gets. Even when she's been thick, she's getting the breaks off the side wall.
375, we mentioned her career high. She has the potential now for a 345, but at one point in time, had she been able to strike out, she was destined for a 420. But then that open in 8 and just quickly brought that to an end.
But then she came right back. She made a great shot in the 9th frame here. Second corner pin, and she's 2 for 2. So this has been a really solid game for Renee.
Now, it just maybe, I don't know, but that last ball, but she's got the follow through, but she's also got what appears to me a little bit of a quick with the wrist at the end as well.
She does flick her wrist at the end of it, and you watch her in her backswing. She's actually got the bowling ball cupped in her wrist as it gets to the top of her backswing. And as she comes through, she'll make that release. Here's the cup, turns it inside out, which should make the ball back up just a little bit.
For the 15 count and a 305. What a great game.
To this replay, see the wrist in the backswing, cupped and a little bit to the outside.
So Chris Monchak will finish up here. Potential 232 for Monchak. See it so often in all sports. Pressure's off, and suddenly you're up there loose. throwing. That all sort of comes so easily now.
Becomes a little bit easier when you're not forcing it.
Chris Monchak will wind up with a 222. But what a story, Renee Laframboise. In her first major championship in women's play, this 19-year-old has become our second semi-finalist from Azilda, Ontario. Renee Laframboise.